You're making me feel as if I'm preparing to
Hello.
write now.
Okay, we are live now. My name is
Okay.
Oluwamayawa of Shidero, and I'm from the Campus Life team. And with me, I have Ekundayo Adebayo.
That's it, sir.
And then our guest here is. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, we have our guest, Mr. Sam O. Salau. Is one of the top African authors that write about student life. He has a website, and then he has spoken in a whole lot of events and student summits. So today we are so glad to have him to share a whole lot of Hello, sir.
Hello.
Okay. So,
Hello, your line is still. Hello.
okay, so the first question we have is, of course, can you just do a little introduction about yourself, sir?
My name is Samuel Salau. Finished from Unilag Mechanical Engineering Department. I'm into student self-help resources, write for students, all the regular peak performance seminars for students, just help students generally to become better academically and in all other ramifications. That was a little I can let out about myself for now.
Okay, thank you so much for that, sir. And then the
You're welcome.
next question goes. So, what was your experience like as a student in University of Lagos?
Of course, you know, you people are there. You know, Unilag is stressful. Unilag is stressful, and it wasn't different during our own time. You had some lecturers who were
Okay.
very friendly.
Hello?
From that.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, we can. We can.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
I said we had lecturers then that were so friendly, and we had lecturers that were far from being friendly. We had courses that were so easy to understand, and you had courses that even after reading and reading, spending hours in the library, you still find out that you need some supernatural forces to understand those courses. It's not too different from what it is now.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much for sharing that with us, sir.
Okay.
Yeah. So, could you just tell us about some of the books you have written about? Like some of the books, maybe you tell us the books and then you tell us about the one that you think students really liked more, probably the one you had the highest purchase or something.
Okay, my highest sale, as at one of the secret of success. My highest sale now of all of my books is Secret of Successful Students. Secret of Successful Students. I wrote the book as a year one student in Unilag.
Wow.
I wrote it in my first year in Unilag, titled Secret of Successful Students. And between then and now, the book has sold over 130,000 copies. 130,000 copies on record. And in the developed world, that's the bestseller in the developed world. But because of our poor accounting system, our poor record system in Nigeria, there's nobody to give you such award. As a student, during my undergraduate years, the book sold over 40,000 copies, even as a student. Presently, it's on the list of books of the SS3 students in Lagos State. That's my bestseller so far. It's titled Secret of Successful Students. I wrote that in my year one. In my year two, I wrote How to Strike a Balance Between Your Academics and Spiritual Life. And it's actually doing well too. It's a book that helps spiritual students who are too spiritual. They are spiritually relevant but academically irrelevant. They put so much into spiritual activities on campus, but their academics is suffering for it. I wrote that in my year 2 and it's equally doing well. In my year 3, I wrote spread your faith on your campus. In my year 4, I wrote a prayer point for students. Prayer points and biblical promises for students. Dr. Lukoya of MFA wrote the forward to that. And my year 5, I wrote make money while in school. In my final year, I wrote how to make money while in school because I made serious money on campus as a student.
Oh wow! You can imagine after selling 40,000 books as an undergraduate.
You can imagine. While as an undergraduate, I wrote 5 books as an undergraduate, and between then and now, I've written 14 other books, making 19 books in print so far. I can't begin to tell you all of the titles. This avenue, this forum is not to market my book.
All right, thank you very much for that, sir. So let's just have a peek of what are the secrets of a successful student, because the target and the theme of this hangout is to be an excelling student, and an excelling student is the one that is successful both in class and in everything. So what are the secrets? Just a little overview.
Yeah.
What do you think is
if you're asking me to tell you the secret of a successful student, coincidentally, that's the title of one of my books, and that book is about 164 pages. What you're asking me to do is to summarize 164 pages of book in these few minutes that I have. That would be quite difficult. But to be a successful student, is not that difficult. I'm sure you have enough excellent students around you, and they don't look like something from the mass. They look like normal average students. They don't do any extra thing than. But I just noticed that the difference between being successful as a student and being a failure is just a little extra that so many students are not willing to contribute. They are not willing to put. Now, I always give this illustration when I talk to students. If you have a scale that can weigh to a balance, that can weigh 2 things, if you put 50 kg on one side of the scale, to make the scale balance, you only need another 50 kg on the other side, and it becomes balanced. To make the scale a little overweight, all you need is just 1 extra kg. Once you add 1 extra kg to the other side of the scale, it weighs on one side and the other side. Because you have just added 1 extra kg, you don't need 50 extra kg. The reason why so many students fail is because there's something little they are not doing. And the reason why the excellent students pass is just there's a little extra that they do that others don't do. It's that little extra that go around telling students to add whatever they do, and then they become excellent students.
Wow. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for that, sir.
Welcome.
So, just a further talk. What do you think are the little things that the excellent students do?
Okay. For example, 1, talk about personal study hours. Personal study. When you look closely at an excellent student, if you watch him closely, you discover that most of these excellent students spend much time with their books. They have time for the extracurricular activities on campus, but they spend much more time with their books, because the first reason why any student is in school is because he's a student. Whatever other reason why the student is in school is an additional thing. For example, if I'm on campus now and I'm made the president of the club, of a club, for example, the president of my faculty group or departmental group, or the president of a fellowship, and I become a pastor on campus, the first reason why I'm on campus is because I'm a student. Whatever other thing I do on campus is additional. Like if you buy a phone now, your phone comes with accessories. You know, the main thing you buy is the phone. The earpiece is an accessory. Whether the earpiece is there or not, you still make use of the phone. Most students get carried away with the other extracurricular activities. that their academics begin to suffer. As a student, you're a full-time student. The number one reason why you're in school is because you're a student. And to continually be in school, you have to continually do what will make you continually be a student. So continually be in school. And you will have time for the other extracurricular things. Most of the students that are not that excelling, they divide their time between so many other things. He forgets that the primary reason why he's in school is because he's a student. He must finish academics. So he divides his time either between school and between religious activities. And you now find that some of them will spend more time doing religious activities. Some divide their time between school and social networking. They spend 2 hours in school, they spend 3 hours networking. Some divide their time between school and the Parakbo groups, the Jebu Student Association or your Student Association, and you discover so many of these extracurricular activities put together consume much more of their time than their personal studies. An excellent student will not allow that. He knows that the first reason why he's in school is because of his academics, and he faces his academics squarely and maximally. What that means is that he devotes a larger percentage of his day to his academics. He spends the hours that are required of him in school, 8 to whatever time, 8 to 4, 8 to 6, some school run 7 to 8. They still spend extra time to study the things he has learned in school. The other students don't do that. After he comes from school, 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock, he feels he has satisfied the necessary requirements the school requires of him. So that's all for lecture for that day. And he goes to sleep. He goes to the extracurricular activities. When it's now exam time, people will be writing exam very soon. When it's exam time, he has a load of work to study. He has a pile of books he has not read. And it's 2 weeks to exam. So he begins to put so much. That's why he now becomes a full-time student. The others have been a full-time student from the beginning of the semester. He is not a full-time student. He's a full-time pastor. He's a full-time social networker. He's a full-time sportsman on campus. He doesn't read his book. When it's now 2 weeks to examination, the examination timetable is out. That's when he now resumes his school. He wants to be a full-time student as at that time. That's when now two weeks. It's practically impossible. So that is the excellent students they start to read from the beginning of the semester. They start to study their books, they give it all it takes, so that when it's time for exam, minimal effort. But the non-excellent student wastes all of those 14 weeks or 15, 16 weeks. And when it's now 2 weeks to exam, he wants to read all night. It doesn't work that way. That's one of the little extra that every student needs to add to make him an excellent student.
All right. Wow, thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
How will you define excellence, sir?
How will I
define excellence?
Will you come again?
So how would you define excellence?
Excellence to
Yes, sir.
an average student is being outstanding in whatever you do, coming out well, being outstanding. Simple definition of excellence.
Thank you, sir.
So as a student, you offer 8 courses or 9 courses. Being an excellent means that if you have A in all of your courses, you have a mixture of A's and B's. You have still excelled. But when you now begin to have B's and C's, it's still manageable. When it's lower than that, both of us know, you and I know, that is nothing close to excellence.
All right, so thank you, sir.
In the academic community, people appreciate A's alone. In the academic community, people appreciate A's alone. But for me, I'll still take someone who has A's and combinations of B's as an excellent student. But when you now have B's and C's, it's still manageable. I don't see that as excellent, but it's still manageable. When you now begin to have C's and D's and all of that results that I don't want to mention so that it doesn't sound as if I like those grades, you know what it means.
All right, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. So, in your speech, actually, I think you actually have answered the first question that I think I had, which is, what should be the goal of a student? You already said it out, that your primary aim is being a full-time student and then facing your studies. So
I can say that over and over again. I can say that over and over again because I know that from my experience in dealing with students for the past 15 years, I know that the major problem students have is misplacement of priorities. It's misplacement of priorities. When your parents sent you to school, the reason why they sent you to school is to come out well in your grades. So you should know deep down in your heart that number one reason why I'm here is to come out well. So whatever will make you come out well should be given much more time. They are just like the proverbial parable of Jesus of 10 virgins who were waiting for the master to come. 5 add oil, 5 did not add oil. And you wonder that somebody is waiting for someone to come in the middle of the night and it does not add oil. So many students are like that. And when it was now the last minute, they ran around looking for oil. Some students will wait till the last meeting to be a full-time student. I can say that over and over again. If all students can resume lecture and resume personal study hours first week of resumption, a lot of people who fail will not fail. And come to think of it, most of the students who fail are brilliant students, but they don't know they are brilliant students. Now, most of the students who fail, if they can invest as much time as the excellent students invest, some of them will do better than those excellent students. Because academics is not a way of measuring your IQ level. Academics does not determine whether you are brilliant or not. What does it take to pass an exam? Memorize what the lecturer has taught you in school and write it down verbatim. That is not what it takes to pass in life. That's why you discover that most people who pass in school don't even pass in life. Most people who have A's in life, who have A's in school on campus, don't have A's in life. Because scoring A's on campus is a lot different from having A's in life. So most of the students who fail are not supposed to fail if they invest much of their time in the academics. But they have so many distractions that continually takes their time away from the academics. That's why we have very few students who excel on campus, and we have majority who fail.
Wow, thank you very much for
the
insight. In fact, I think I just have to grab my pen and biro and to start writing enough tips.
No, you don't have to write the tips. I've saved you that space. Just buy my books.
I'll do
just buy the books.
With a discount, sir.
You're welcome.
All right, sir.
Okay, so Unilag is actually known as one of the top schools with so much activities, so much things to do. How do you think a student can actually strike a balance between all of these distractions that are available? Parties, social media, and a whole lot of weeks. Like this second semester, we have this week and all week, all of that. What's your advice on how a student should strike a balance between all the campus activities?
It's quite easy. It's quite easy. Once the school resumes, once you resume in school as a student, know what your goal is. What is my goal? What is my aspiration? For some students, their goal is to be a first-class student. So once you know what your goal is, you work towards your goal. Some people are not interested in coming out with first class. What is interested in is becoming a senator in the nearest future. So he's interested in politics. Now you will discover that the person who is interested in politics may not desire to graduate with a first class. So what is his goal? Okay. To make his political name, his political ambition known. Now, once you know what your goal is, you can know where you direct your focus and still balance the two. I wanted to be a great author, and I started writing from my year one. I didn't stop my academics. I was doing academically. So, once you know what your goal is, then you plan your time in line with your goal, such that you are still making waves in your aspiration and you are still making waves in the academics. Now, if your goal is to become the #1 comedian in Nigeria in 2020, all weeks you mentioned won't be a distraction to the person, because it can actually make his name on campus. Once he begins to feature in all weeks, he features in all the faculty week, he features in all the departmental week. Before you know it, it becomes so popular. But it should not allow it to affect his academic drastically. So now you make a time. You make a timetable. Okay, this is where I want to manage my time. I devote 2 hours to my academics aside lecture every day. And I devote 1 extra hour to my goal of being the best footballer on campus. And once you can do a time management table that directs how your time is spent, it becomes a lot easier for you not to flow with the crowd. Because the problem that most students have, aside not focusing on the academics, is flowing with the crowd. Someone just feel like you're going to the library to read, and somebody tells you, "No, you're going to the library. This week is a Fagua all week, or this week is Makama all week." The streets of them around, and he's distracted. You just flow to the crowd, and before you know it, a lot of hours spent or wasted doing nothing. So once every student can determine what his goal is and make a proper timetable that directs how he spends his time on daily basis. I always advise every student to have a 24-hour timetable. A 24-hour timetable will tell you precisely where your time is going. With 24 hours timetable, you know what to do every hour of the day, and you plan it ahead of time. Once you have that, you can manage your time effectively well, and you can do a lot of things and still excel in almost all of them because your time is effectively managed and spread over those things. So you are doing things intentionally. You are not reacting to life. You are acting your time. Reacting to life means that if I ask you, Mayowa, what will you be doing by this time tomorrow morning? You don't know. If I ask you, what will you be doing by next tomorrow 3 o'clock in the afternoon? You don't know. It's whatever comes around you want to do. But that means you are reacting to life. Acting in life means that precisely your time is laid out. You know what you are doing tomorrow. You know what the next, at least for the next 1 week, you can precisely determine where your time is placed. That way you can achieve much more than just reacting to life.
Wow. All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. I learned a whole lot from that.
Yes, sir. So, sir, what do you think you can advise students? What do they do when they seem to understand the specific topic?
What do students do when they don't? What should they do when they don't understand a specific topic?
Yes, sir. And there's nobody to explain to them.
There's so much they can do. Firstly, it will be quite difficult for all of the students in a class not to understand what the lecturer has taught. If the man stands in front of the class and is teaching like 20, 30, or 40 people, and maybe it's one of your year one classes that still like 500 to 750 people. Now, the lecturer stands, in my time, we used to sit like 1,000 people for the year one class. Standing for some very, very difficult courses that time.
Wow.
The lecturer stands with 100 people and teaches the topic in 1 hour. And none of that 100 people understood what he has taught. That person is not shouldn't be called a lecturer. He should go and be teaching primary school. So it's quite difficult that a lecturer will stand and teach for 1 hour, and there will be nobody, not one person, in a class of 100 that will understand what the lecturer has taught. Most times there will be people that will understand. They may not understand fully well, but they can grasp a little idea about what the lecturer is saying. Those ones, if they're in such class, what I advise people to do, if the rest of the people in class does not understand, let them fix it within class. That's the essence of the tutorial class. Most times, we bastardize these things. We only hold tutorial class when it's 1 week to exam. Somebody come and now do a summary. That is not what the tutorial class is meant for. When the lecturer finishes teaching, and the topic looks so difficult to everybody, you can ask who understands this better. Okay, who understands some part of it? There are 5 people who understand some part of it. Nobody understood it all. Or some 5 people understand some part of it. You can take sessions to teach each of them what they understood. Before you know, they're imparting their knowledge to everybody. Now, they have more time than the lecturer has. They have better rapport with the students than the lecturer has. So that they can come down to the students' level to teach whatever they understood out of what the lecturer has taught. By the time the time students, I'm sure that 1.5 of the class to understand. If it now happens that nobody in the class understands, you can call it a senior friend. There's somebody in, if you're in year 2, there's somebody in year 3, there's somebody in year 4 who starts for the same lecture.
Yeah.
And who also you don't understand when lecturer taught it, but somehow managed to pass the exam. They can call him and sit him down and let him teach your class, or teach one person who will teach your class. That way it becomes easy for everybody to flow along. Worst case, you can go and meet the lecturer. If it happens like that 85% or 90% of the people in the class does not understand what the lecturer has taught, you have the right to demand that the lecturer will visit the lecturer. Just ask him, go to him and plead with him and let him take the lecture. You may not want to use his lecture hour to take it. You can plead for an extra lecture hour, maybe during the evening or any other time that will be convenient with him. I'm sure we would want to oblige you. Because one thing I've noticed is that students feel lecturers are wicked, but lecturers are not wicked. They're human beings and they are nice. Whatever wicked behaviors they show, whatever wicked attributes they show, it's because they have learned from students over the years that if you come to the level of a student, they will write, they will insult you. So they have put themselves high. If they see genuine concern from the student, they still respond to it. So I'm sure that if at least half of the class go to meet the lecturer, they're willing to teach them. And the lecturer is so wicked that he's not willing to teach everybody in the class. At least there's somebody in the class that will be a friend to the lecturer. That one can go to the lecturer, lecturer teaches him,
Yes,
professor teaches the class, and it makes everything easy for everybody.
yeah. Wow. All right, sir. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome, Mayowa.
Okay, sir. How about in the case like
Mayowa is the one on pink sheet.
no Ekundayo, sir?
That Ekunayo, this is Mayowa.
Ekundayo is on pink, Mayowa is on green. Okay, I can see
All right, sir. What about in the case whereby a lecturer tells the student that he's here to confuse them and they are to go and make their findings to get the lecture correct?
The lecturer says is here to
confuse the students. The students have to go home to make their own research.
Well, they are actually, you know, the university, the higher institution should operate more like a research center, not like a primary school or secondary school. What will be used over the years is that we allow the university, the higher institutions to run like a primary school, where you are spoon-fed on everything you need. You expect the lecturer to teach you everything he knows. The university institution, the higher institution should run more like a research institute. The lecturer gives you an insight into the topic, teaches you the peripheral, and asks you to go and make more in-depth research. That's how we can increase ourselves, advance technologically in this country. If we expect that all we need to know, the lecturer will teach us, we'll stay at the level we have for life. But if the lecturer will just teach us what they do we need to know, and they ask you to go and make more research, you discover that we delve into areas, small students, young students, will come out with things that the Americans, the Britons, the whites cannot come out with. And that will make Nigeria proud. So if you see a lecturer who is forcing you to go and make research, it's actually helping you. More students will see it as if he's a wicked lecturer. It's actually helping, and that is how the university community should run. Not like they should feed you everything you need to eat, everything you need to, and even give you, in my day, they used to call it AOC, area of concentration, and even give you AOC so that you study the AOC, and when the exam comes, just copy one for what lecturer has given to you and then pass. That's why you have so many people who are carrying certificates around, but they don't have anything apart from the certificates, and they come out of school, they are useless to themselves, useless to the community, useless to the nation, because there's nothing else they can do. All they know in their life was all the lecturer taught them. They can't reason themselves and bring out some productive ideas from their life. So if you say a lecturer who is forcing you to research, that's a good lecturer. That's the kind of lecturers want in Nigeria. You understand my point?
Yes, sir. All right, thank you, sir.
All right.
Welcome.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. There are still numerous questions that a whole lot of people submitted, but because time is really not on our side, I'll just. Sir?
Maybe we could make it. Maybe we could make it a live session. Tomorrow, if we come together, you can bring together all of the people who submitted the questions. Let's look for one small hall in like one lecture theater. I'll just around for 30 minutes or 1 hour, address all of the questions all the students have. We will target 1 hour with most allow or something. Okay, so we can attend all of the questions. We can work that out another time.
Okay, we can do that. So just some few last word questions. Hello, sir.
I'm listening, Mario.
Yeah, so what's your major advice to students who probably they didn't get it right from the start? They already have low GPs and then they probably think they can't make it out of their course again or something. What's your advice to people in that category, sir?
Let's look at the story. One of my latest books came out in, I think, February or March. Is entitled Living a First Class Life with a Third Class Certificate. Living a First Class Life with a Third Class Certificate. They shouldn't be sorry. And for those who are already close to graduating now, not for everybody now, for those who are already close to graduating now, they should just make up their mind that, well, they are graduating with a poor result, but that does not mean they will naturally live a poor life. They can make more sense out of their life than what the certificate can give them. If you check the richest 10 people in the world, the richest 10 men in the world, there are only 10 of them that have any good grade from any school. That's a word of comfort for those that feel it's too late for them now. Those are not for those who are in their 1 or their 2. those ones should label and read their books and password. But for those who feel it's almost a lot of things can do when you get out of school. You get out of the PSC, go for your math. Better things. You can do some professional courses that will boost whatever grade you're graduating with. And then you can learn more practical things. If your field has to do with practical things, you can forget the theory and learn more practical things. So that when you put interviews, you are more relevant than one who just know theories. You are more value than the person has only theoretical knowledge. You have both theoretical and practical knowledge, and then you will still need it.
Wow. Thank you so much, sir. So another question goes, yes, sir. Let's say, of course, maybe I was able to work hard this semester and then I had 5 points. What's your advice on how to be a consistent excelling student? Like not just have a 5 point and then the next semester you relax or something. How can one be a consistently excellent student?
That's another challenge that some students have. They get carried away with success. They get easily carried away with success. This time he has done so well. Everybody is indicating that he has done well. Everybody is praising him, and the thing gets into his head. And next time he relaxes. And what I advise most of them, there is no blanket rule for everybody. Some of them will devote more time to academics in the middle of the night study. There's something the person did that made him score 5 points that semester that is not doing again, and most times that's always the problem. So I always advise, sit down, take a deep breath. You can go for 2-3 hours, see the you do last time that made you get that much. Once can get most of them, most times always feel that it came naturally, and then they stop what they actually did, and they start doing something else. And when you now discover that what they are doing is something else they are doing is not yielding the result that one did, most of them won't even think of going back to what they did. They think of praying more. Say, let's pray more, let's go to church more, let's go to mosque more. And they dip their own hole the more, dip their feet the more. So most times I encourage them, watch that semester, what precisely did you do? Know what you did, and then keep doing it, and it's quite easy for you.
Wow. Thank you very much, sir. So someone just submitted a question here. I think we just have like 5 minutes left for the hangout, but someone submitted the question. He said, the problem he has is the bad educational system of Nigeria. So my own question now goes does the educational system of Nigeria actually affect the grade or the performance of students in university? It's affect.
You know one thing about God. When God creates everybody, He puts you in the environment where you can survive. He puts you in a thick environment. He gives you thick skin in that environment so that you can survive that environment. Check nature. Check the kind of trees that grows in the desert. There are trees that can survive that environment. It's not about the environment most times. Anybody who is complaining about the environment has not really discovered himself. You will say Nigerian education standard is poor. It's poor. Some people get 5 points. Those who got 5 points, who graduate for first class, are they not in the same environment? Each person will decide what he gets from whatever environment he is. Let me give you an illustration. Now, if you take a plot of land, a piece of farmland, and you plant bitter leaf on that farmland, the same piece of farmland, if you taste that bitter leaf, it will be bitter. If you take the same piece of farmland, right beside the bitter leaf, if you plant sugarcane on the same piece of farmland, if you taste it, it will be sweet. And the same soil, the same nutrients from the same soil will make the bitter leaf bitter and will make the sugarcane sweet. So it's not in the soil where it is planted. Class in that same department, that same faculty, that same school, there are students who are doing well. Why is he not doing well? It's not in the school, it's not in the country, it's not in the state, it's not in the educational standard, it's in the person. If the person can check himself well, I'm sure we'll have better results. Complaining about the educational standard is just an easy excuse for someone who has nothing to do. Apologies to the person who has the question.
Wow. Thank you very much, sir.
All right, so just 3 minutes left, and this will be my last question. Trust me. I think maybe we could just have an hangout too, and then a whole lot of questions will come in, and then you just answer the question.
Once you let me know in on time, and my time is free, I'm willing to do it. I leave my.
Wow. Yeah, we'll be very much looking forward to hangout too with Sam O. Salau. Okay, so the last question, and they're actually in two parts. The first part is, if you probably could be able to have your undergraduate days back, what do you think you would do more? And then the second part is just your last word for every student that is watching out there.
If I was able to live my undergraduate life well, if I was able to live my undergraduate life over again, maybe I would be closer to God. Maybe I would be closer to God. Maybe I would devote more time. Maybe I would be closer to God. One. Maybe I would devote much more time on academics than I devoted, so that I can make the better that I've made.
Or maybe write more books.
Well, write more books. That will not be it. My year one, I wrote a book. My year two, I wrote a book. My year three, I wrote a book. My year four, I wrote a book. My year five, I wrote a book. I wrote one book each year on my campus. So that means to write more programs. I'm writing 2 books every year. Some professors don't write that. My last word: be a good boy. Be good boys. Face your academics. Be closer to God. Come out in bright and brilliant colors. Sky is your starting point.
Okay.
Wow. So thank you very much for the time. Ekuna, what do you have to say?
Okay, sir. Just one last funny question, sir.
Okay.
So why do students sleep in class?
Why do students
sleep in
lecturers
are boring, or yes, sir? Is that lectures are boring, or they just like sleeping?
No. Actually, this generation of students have active minds. They are students who are used to loads of information from their childhood.
Okay, sir.
They like things that are lively. That's why in most of their programs, when they organize programs, they put stand-up comedian to make them laugh. They want to be lively, they want to be active, they want to enjoy themselves. They have stand-up comedy. Even when churches hold program, they still put comedy. Somebody come and make everybody laugh. That's the kind of life they are used to. Like you now ask them to sit in class for 1 hour, and then somebody is talking jargons, unrelated material that is not funny, that is not lively, that is so boring. There's a tendency to want to sleep. Now, a research came out and they say the thought rate at which someone thinks is 800 words per hour per minute. Your thought rate is 800 words per minute. The speech rate, the rate at which you speak is 300 words per minute. Speech rate is 300 words per minute, thought rate is 800 words per minute. So when the lecturer is speaking, whatever he's saying every minute, you have more time to think twice what is being said. So if you're speaking at 300 words per minute and you're thinking at 800 words per minute, there's always some space in your heart to think of what the lecturer is saying.
Hello?
Hello, sir?
Hello?
Hello, sir.
Okay. So, well, I think that's just at the dot of 4 o'clock. Hello? Hello? Okay, so I think we just have to end the hangout right now because I think his connection went off or something. So for you to access books from Mr. Sam Salau, actually we promised everyone that attended this hangout a free ebook by Mr. Sam Salau. For you to access the ebook, all you just need to do is to go to his website, which is www.samosalau.com. And then when you are on the website, you just access. Okay, so kindly just look at the screen. You access this left panel of the website, and then you can download an ebook for free. The name is actually Words on Marble, and that's part 1. And then we thank everyone that has watched this hangout. We thank the CITS for providing us an access to use this lovely room, and then we thank the information unit for helping us shout it out. Mrs. Alaga, thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
And we thank the counseling unit, Mrs. Ashewaju. A whole lot of people actually supported this hangout. So just don't forget to visit the Campus Live website and then subscribe to the mailing list, follow the social media, and then you get information about subsequent hangouts. Thank you so much, everybody.